somewhere. What's going down? IG, what's popping? Good to
Wow,
see you
really
guys.
already.
What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to another episode of the Born Sinner
Mm.
podcast featuring of Byron Matthew the second, Christopher Below, and Terrell Williams, who
Accessibility
is
shortcuts.
just like everybody else a little late to the party, but I'm sure he'll be getting here soon. But we thank you guys. Go ahead and hop on in wherever you're watching from, wherever you're listening from. Welcome. We're so glad to have you guys. This is recorded. So these lives that we've been doing on IG and also on YouTube, they've been like very non-scripted, but we've just been trying to figure out what to do from there. As you guys know, I do have a podcast called the Two Mites Podcast, and so these conversations that I've been having with the homies have not necessarily been a two mites situation, even though we've been kind of tabling that, but we're kind of transitioning that now into what we like to call the Born Center Podcast. And the whole idea behind the Born Center Podcast is to be able to have these real authentic conversations with the homies, but to be able to spark growth, spark community, but also spark even initiation, trying to figure out how we can better our lives together. And so, Two Mites is different from that, even though it is kind of the same embodiment. It is still different. And so, yeah, Born Center podcast with myself, Below, and TJ. So we're thankful for you guys for hopping in,
Yep.
all the love that we've been getting, whether it's been on YouTube or on Instagram Live. We appreciate you guys. It has been so fun just to hear everybody's thoughts, everybody's just feedback on everything. So we appreciate you guys, man. So continue to let us know about what you guys got going on. Any questions you guys might have, you can send them straight directly to the Instagram, or you can send them to the email. You can message, you can DM, whatever you got. Please make sure you hit us up, and it's gonna be great. Hold on, I'm actually just putting this on the thing right now. Below, what you got on your heart?
Man, I'm just happy to be here, brother. I mean, blessed, excited to get some conversations, catch up. I think just the vision of the podcast is a beautiful thing. Just real authentic guys having real authentic, conversations, answering questions, asking the hard conversations and questions, not ducking any smoke.
Yeah,
But also just being real at the same time. And I think
absolutely.
just trying to be a light in the darkness. You feel me?
Now, I've obviously have only a year of podcast under my belt. You have an extended amount of time. You've been doing this for a while. What would you say could be the difference in what we do versus probably what you've done before?
Oh man, that's a good question. Um, Dang, that's a good question. I don't know. I mean, I wasn't
Come on,
expecting that
Below.
question.
Come on,
What
Below.
I
You
say,
professional.
I say just kind of just with the direction, maybe. Just
Yeah,
really just understanding what the main point is, what the main focus is, what's the
yeah,
main glory. Who deserves the main credit. You know what I mean? So it's just and what brings us together. I think that's what the biggest part, the biggest difference maker is just the overall push and purpose behind everything.
absolutely. Well, my whole thing has been like, um, I'm really good when it comes to like end goals. Like end goals are really good for me. Like if we're doing a project or if we're doing something, what are we trying to come across? What's the end goal and all of that, right? And so for me, these end goals has been like I really do want people to know that it's okay that you were born into sin. It is okay to know that you were born with all the flaws, all the shit, all the different stuff that you might have started your life off with or felt like you started your life off with. It's okay. Because we were all born sinners. We were all born into a mindset and into a way that is constructive, and that's why we become born again. That's why we have Christ. That's why He saved us. That's why He paid the Christ, paid the price on Calvary on the cross. Um, and not to get too churchy, but that's literally what I feel like is going to be different from these conversations. Is that though we might get funny, though it might get rowdy, at the end of the day, um, it is genuinely going to be conversations that are built off of um, trying to go closer to Christ and trying to be better as
Mhm.
husbands, as men, as employees, as bosses, in all the areas of our life. So I'm excited, man. It's gonna be good. What you drinking on?
Just a good protein shake, little something, something chill.
Do you drink post shake after you work out or before?
I mean, I don't really have like an ideal like specific
Oh,
time,
you
but
drink protein all day?
right now it's after just because I haven't had it today.
Okay.
But usually it's usually something. It's either the morning breakfast or a
Mm,
good snack in the afternoon, brother.
that's good. That's good.
Yeah, yeah,
Well,
yeah. I see you hooping a lot. You hooping a lot more, a lot.
my wife got me the new shoes for my birthday, so I had to get a little work in them. But it's
You got to put them to use.
honestly, I hoop about 3 times a week. If
That's
it's
a
a
lot.
crazy, yeah, if it's a crazy week, it would have been maybe 4 or 5, but that's hardly ever. But there's a consistent run 3 times a week that I try to hit, and so it's been good. It's been good. I've definitely
Your
felt
body
it in
not
my.
hurting.
I was just about to say I've definitely been feeling it more.
Hmm.
I was sick the last few days, so I usually hoop Sunday night. And so I didn't hoop Sunday night, but today I went to the gym and got some shots up, and my body felt great. And I was like, man, why do I feel so good? But it's because
You rested.
of yes, it was because I rested. And so I understand why LeBron takes a rest day and why certain people take a rest day. It's not like you need a whole time. I just need a day. I need a day just to not do
Yeah,
nothing. So not hooping Sunday night definitely made me feel good today. So I'm hooping tomorrow. So I hope that we'll get something good going.
must be nice, man.
It
Must be
must
nice.
Must be nice. But thank you guys again for tuning in to the Born Center podcast. We're so happy to have you guys here, whether on YouTube, whether on IG, and officially on Facebook. We're on Facebook now, Bilo. How does that
Hey,
make you feel? That's kind of nice, right?
I got a lot of love on Facebook. That's a good thing.
Listen, it's kind of wild, bro. We literally on Facebook. It's just crazy. I just love that we get a chance to do that. So as we're still waiting, we're waiting on our partner in crime. We love Terrell Williams. We just want y'all to know we do love him. Terrell Williams maybe just isn't as tech savvy as Bilo and I are,
he,
and
he just never
so
fails us. He never fails us.
he never fails us. He calls it his CP time. I don't necessarily know what we call it, but if he comes in, great. If he doesn't come in, then that's gonna be fine as well. But we're just gonna keep the ball rolling, and we're gonna make it happen. So, but one of the things that we like about this podcast as well is that we will bring questions or topics or discussions to the table that the other person doesn't know about. So we will start off a conversation straight from the hip, and the answers are straight from the hip, which is really great as well. So if you're watching on Facebook, this might be the first time you tune in. Thank you guys for having us and being here. But it is straight from the hip. We don't know what the other person is wanting to talk about. We don't know what the other person is thinking about, and it makes the conversation a little bit more authentic, a little bit more real, because it's straight from the hip. So I'm excited about tonight, because I have a question that I specifically picked out for Below, which I think is going to be great,
Nah,
and
nah, nah, nah.
so I think I think it's
Not
going to be really good.
specifically for me.
I think it's gonna be really good to have it on there. And hold on a second.
This man said he got a question specifically for me. I don't even know what that means.
I'm just saying. I just felt when I picked this question, I just knew that it would be something that you would have a great answer to. So, I'm trying to see really quick. This is live and in action. I'm just trying to see if okay. Hold on, wait. Let me do this really quick because I would like for TJ to be on as well. Let's see.
I see that he joined on IG. I don't know about
I do
Riverside.
see that. I do see that. But the Riverside is gonna be the move. So let's see.
Always waiting on TJ. And TJ, you can hear me? Good. Dag nabbit. Good.
Let me see. We're gonna
Shoot,
see.
that boy Terrell.
Listen, you know what I'm saying? It happens. It happens. It happens. I need to make sure that
TJ, he got
I'm doing the due diligence next time and making sure
he
that
got he
he
got to
has what he
learn to
needs.
always. He had to always stay ready, so he ain't got to get ready.
Nah, this is true. This is true. But it's all right. It's all right. Oh, y'all heard that? That's crazy. Okay. We're gonna take a few seconds. We're gonna take a few seconds. Try to see TJ gonna come in. And just we
It
just
sounds
gonna
good.
we're gonna wait it out. We're gonna wait it out. We're gonna wait it out. See how he
Sounds
does.
amazing.
Uh,
I'm at 80%. We good. My phone shouldn't die. We can line up straight now.
we're gonna wait it out for him. We're gonna see how he does. See how he
We're
does.
gonna have to. We ain't got nothing. Might as well at this point. Shoot.
What else is on your heart, below?
What's is on my heart? Just
Now
keeping the main thing the main thing.
you've been doing a Bible study on Wednesdays. How's that been going?
Hmm. It's been going good.
What
It's been going. It's
book are
been a
y'all
little
in right
bit.
now?
Right now we're doing just kind of individual parables or like psalms or like stories.
Okay.
So last time we did the parable of the sower. Tomorrow we're gonna do the parable of the prodigal son.
Okay.
Um, I need to figure out what we're gonna do next week. I was thinking about a psalm, either Psalm 1 or Psalm 63.
Uh-huh.
Um, I may do 63 or something else. I could do 51, do the David and Bathsheba thing, but I don't know if people ready for that.
So the men at our church, our pastor does a pretty much sends out a Bible verse every morning, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, oh, let me say, gotta open
That boy.
Google.
Is he in Google? He's in
That's what I was
Safari.
about to tell him. That's what I was about to tell him. So the men, so he sends out a Bible verse to the men every morning. So we pretty much been going through the whole Bible. So we just hit Songs of Solomon, but the New Living Translation calls it Songs. And I've read through that book before, like kind of skimmed through it. I didn't really read it, but reading it more in depth now, it's just crazy. Just the concept of what Solomon had and like his mindset going into how to describe Christ. Like my man only knew a life of like loving on women. So literally the best way he can describe Christ is how he has loved on women. And so it's just
Yeah,
kind of wild to see his whole interactions and the way that he describes Christ. And it's
yeah,
just wild. Like in our carnal mind or our 21st century mind, you just think this man is just super like, I don't know, horny, which I mean, he might have been, but still, it's just wild just to kind of see
yeah.
him actually describe Christ in these ways. And anyways, if you and your guys or if you and your people get to that point, it's gonna be good for you to dissect that for the men.
Yeah. No, it's gonna have to. Solomon's Proverbs. I gotta do some Proverbs too.
Yeah.
Um, it's the crazy thing is like you read some of these books before or some of these chapters or some of these passages, and
Hmm.
you feel like you haven't really read them, you haven't really deep dive into them, and like
Right.
it's like always a recycle. It's like man, I feel like I haven't read Proverbs, but it's like I
Right.
know I did,
Right.
but it's
Right.
like
Right.
this
Right. Right.
new, I guess this new perspective or this new knowledge or this new viewpoint or new outlook I have on it. It's like, oh, it's like starting all the way over. So it's like, oh yeah, Proverbs really gonna hit now. You know,
Hmm.
so that's the beautiful thing about the Bible. You know, you can
Absolutely.
always come back to it regularly, and you will be able to gain, you know, if not more than what you learned from the first time. So I think that's the beautiful thing. I'm always learning, always growing, and these books just speak completely different, especially if you know just the context of it, the narrative, the background, you know, how they're writing, the tone, the author, who they writing to, why they writing to, what's the situation they in. All these
Absolutely.
things add different information, gives us a better perspective to really
Absolutely.
understand you know, Christ and the word. So it's a beautiful thing. So, you know, you're right. I can't wait. I got all my life. So there's a, not saying like I ain't gonna do nothing,
You
but
do
you
have
get what
time.
I'm saying.
Yes, you
Yeah,
do
yeah,
have
yeah, yeah,
time.
yeah, 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 yeah. It's
You do have
lit.
time. TJ, I see you on IG. You all right? Oh, here you go. Let me see.
Yeah. Look at it. He's shaking it, boy. That boy rubbing his head. That's how you know he's struggling. He's stressed over
I
there,
don't
trying
know.
to put it together.
I don't know what's going on, but this is not.
Are you on Google Chrome?
I'm on Google Chrome. At first it was the
What's up?
Chrome, and now it's the
Now
camera.
it's your webcam. Yeah.
I
So
was
It,
try to turn the camera off and turn it back on. Let's try that. Something simple.
tried
yeah,
that.
right there on the riverside, you can hit that camera button.
I
See where
wish
it says
I
camera
wish I
off.
could screen record y'all everything I'm doing.
But do you
So
see that? Do you
you,
see that cam button right there?
Yeah, I'm looking dead at it and clicking it, but it ain't clicking. So I don't know. They just gonna have to see me, but they ain't gonna see me. You feel me? I guess that's
hey,
what's
what
gonna
you mean they gonna have to see you?
they
They
gonna,
not see you, and it's getting an echo. I don't know it.
it's
Not an echo,
one of them nights, fellas. I'm taking the L. I'm taking it. Don't trip.
The
man.
crazy part is we can hear you.
We can
We
hear
just
you
can't
loud and
see you.
clear. We just can't see you. So you think it's you? So try restarting the whole Riverside page, or try to like get out of Google Chrome, or maybe even reset, if your computer can restart fast enough, you can try that too. I don't know,
Okay.
but
What I'm gonna do
I
is
think that's the next best thing, my guy.
I'm gonna just hop up out of here. All right, I'm gonna
Mhm.
hop up out of here and I'm gonna hop back
Turn
in.
my swag on. Oh, okay.
All right,
All right.
give me a second.
We gonna have to. TJ, what you mean? Give you a second. We gave you. We gave.
Shut up.
we gave. We gave a plenty of seconds, my guy.
Hey, shut up. Hey, shut
Oh,
up. I don't need it. The devil working today, but I got it. Don't worry. Hold on.
all right. Go ahead, TJ. Go
It's
ahead.
gonna. He gonna have to figure it out, Lord. He be all right.
TJ, can
He'll
you hear
figure
me
it
on
out.
IG? He can hear me. All right, so I can ask the question at least because now he can at least hear me while he's working through what he's working through, and then
Okay. Okay.
if he
That's
gets
better.
back on here, he gets back on here. But you can wait to answer once you get your computer back up. But we'll wait on here. Let me pull it up. Let me pull it up. Pull it up. Okay, yeah. All right. So I heard some people talking about this. I thought it was gonna be a good question, and I just thought it'd be a good question because it's just great. But when it comes to your career
Mm-hmm.
and when it comes to love, if you
Mm.
had an opportunity to have the career of your dreams or the woman of your dreams, you either get the career of your dreams or the woman of your dreams. Which one would you choose, and which one is more important? Is your career more important, or is love more important?
Do we mean career? is 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 career just like a normal job, or career is like my purpose and my full
Mm,
like what do we mean by career? Like,
yeah,
am I like, you know what I mean? Like, what do we
not
mean by career?
not gonna lie, that was my first question. And so I think honestly, I would probably just say just straight up, just like a good, like a just a really great job. Like, I mean, I don't I hate when people say like my purpose. Your purpose isn't necessarily ministry. Like, I don't think that my purpose is to be a pastor. I we can break that down in a whole different situation, but I do not think my purpose on earth is to be a pastor. But when it comes to the idea of a career, or when it comes to um, uh, what that would be, we'll just say, for the lack of a better word, it's just the job of your dreams, whatever that would be. So we don't have to necessarily worry about purpose and what that all means and stuff like that, because we'll get into that if we want to get into that. But let's just say the job of your dream. So for an example, growing up, I always wanted to be a talk show host, or like a late night talk show host, or something that had to do in the film industry. That was something I always wanted to do. So one of those jobs, or the woman of your dreams. Um, which one would you choose? And then also, which one is more important?
I mean, personally, I mean, if we're just saying like, uh, how can I put this? I mean, I would prefer, honestly, I would pick the woman over a career, honestly,
Mm,
any day. Not even
mm,
close.
mm.
Not even close. Because I
Okay.
mean, I just think your career, one, doesn't define you, doesn't give you identity, um, and especially if it's not even on par with your purpose, it's like not even a part. Like, my dream career or dream job was to be in the NBA. I preferably wanted to play for the Olympic basketball team. You know,
Okay. Yeah.
like, another dream job I had was to be an astronomer.
Hmm.
Okay. Another
Hmm.
dream I had was, so it's like to me, um, if your career is, if you are finding your identity, your self worth, and value in your career, you know, then I feel like that'll lead you down into destruction. If you find your value, worth in your woman, I feel like that'll lead you into destruction as well. So, like, to my thing is, if just put it in pecking order, I would put God at number one in my life. And then, naturally, I would say my family. And naturally, the first person, if I'm married, is going to be my woman. So it's like, all right, well, she going to have to go in front of career. So it's like, if my dream career allows me to be 60 hours a week outside the house, then it ain't no dream career. So it really just depends. Like, to me, I just think that you finding, your rib is something that God allowed. It's just, to me, it's just an enjoyable experience that's a gift from God versus just my dream career. I think, just with me, just being able to create lifelong memories with people and be able to love and serve one another
Okay.
it's a dream in and of itself.
I
So
I definitely want to hear from the people that are listening. So if you're listening on IG or Facebook or YouTube, please send in your response to your questions, because I'd love to hear from you guys as well. But we'll go back to the original question. TJ, so good to see you, my man. So glad you're here.
hey,
We do not want to do this without you. So
we do have
I'm
an
just
echo though. I can hear it clearly. I can hear it on my end,
Hold
so
on,
I know other
I
people
got
can
you. Hold
hear it.
on.
Yeah, TJ,
Oh,
turn it down.
I'm not
what about
saying
now?
like I can hear everything. That sounds
Can
better
you hear?
now, brother.
I can't hear it. I
Hey,
couldn't hear it before, so but
all right, is that better?
TJ can be yes, sure.
Okay. All right, we in action.
Below, is
Okay.
it better?
Yeah, that sounds better.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
So yeah, we're glad to have you guys here. IG, Facebook, YouTube, all the different places. We're super excited. It's gonna be a great conversation. Let's get back into it. The question was, TJ, when it comes to your career, when it comes to your life, when it comes to the love of your life, what is more important to choose if you had to choose one or the other? Would you choose your dream job or would you choose your dream girl? Which one would you pick? Which one would you choose?
Honestly, I believe it. For me, it'd probably be like dream job.
Okay.
Reason I say dream job is because, like Bilo was saying, like when you get into like your career and you're doing all this stuff, this is kind of the thing that you probably prayed for. Like you probably ask God, like, "Hey God, like I'm going into this field." You probably put like a bunch of work into this field that you've been itching to get into, and now you finally there. You finally done made it, and so then from there, I believe that after you've accumulated, time in your calling, what I'm saying, during that time is when I believe that, if you are honestly seeking to start locking in and getting involved with somebody, then that starts to evolve because now you have what you wanted, like you established yourself, like I got a good career, like I'm working the hours that I want to work, what I'm saying? I might not be where I want to be yet, but at least I know I'm in a direction. And so in doing that, like then when you lock in and you like, all right, well now I think I'm good enough financially, or I think I'm good enough mentally to go ahead and start maneuvering and finding love. But not saying it's like the stuff is all based off financials, but you want to be able to, curate and be able to be a provider, especially for us men. That's a big thing for us, being able to provide and not be considered a leech or lazy. You know what I'm saying? So, if it's off the rip, it'd be career, and then when you finding yourself, then you end up finding love of your life. But hey, for some people, it's a flip flop.
Yeah, honestly, I was really stumped on this because I feel like I'm married to my dream girl. So a part of me is like, you have it. So it's like, but then I'm
Did you
also
find her? Did she come during your your season, or did it happen after your season?
that's true. So honestly, I met her in my season, but then I had left the the job or the career and everything that I thought I was really going to be in for a while, as far as the church, I'd say. And so then I really fell in love with Jordan while I was like in my lowest of lowest times where I had nothing. So and I wouldn't say that I chose Jordan over my dream job. It just for me happened to where me and Jordan and us being together is what was happening for me. So it was like, man, I don't care about nothing else at this time. Like this, I want to make sure I make this work. So I don't know. I mean, honestly, I think I'd probably pick dream job too, because I agree with what TJ was saying. Like once I'm able to kind of get these things on the wrap, or once I'm able to kind of work in that dream job area, then I'm able to figure out even what I want in life and my girl and stuff like that. But I also understand what Bilo is saying as well. It's like, man, let me get the girl first. Everything else can work itself later. And I honestly feel like that's how I was when I met Jordan. That's how I am. Don't get me wrong.
That's not necessarily what I said, but
I mean, I'm just saying, but just in lack of better words, like let me get my dream girl, and then when it comes to the other things, we can get that stuff underway. But this is
yes and
something
no.
about yeah. So
It's more because like for me, it's like to me, like I said, if the job ain't got no purpose in it, it's no point in
mhm,
doing it. So it's like because I can see how you all would pick job, but I didn't see it as I just saw it just like as a job versus like I'm not gonna pick my purpose. Like I
mhm,
would pick my purpose first before I found a girl. I think every
mhm,
man should know that. But
mhm.
that's like to me just following the will of God.
Yeah,
It's like your will of God can go this way, your dream job be this way.
yeah,
So figure it
yeah.
out.
I feel that. I feel that.
Sometimes it can mesh. So it's
Yeah.
like it's like sometimes it may not. It's like my whatever. But I hear you though.
I do have a question. Somebody on IG, uh, Mr. David, it seems like, has been asking a few questions about you and the Roommates podcast. Just wanted to know what's going on with that. And is there anything new coming out?
Nothing really going on with it. I would say Fees lives in Dallas. I live in Houston, and Fees is focused on what Fees is focused on. I focus on what I'm focused on. No beef, all love, all support. That's it. Yeah, what TJ? Nah, ain't no beef.
Yeah,
Shoot. I mean,
just
that's that.
listen. Just
Shout out to
listen.
Fees.
Just work. Yeah, it's just getting it
Yeah.
together. That's it. All right,
Hey,
cool.
hey, he live in Dallas. I live in Houston. You
I
know
hope
what I mean?
that I hope that answers your question, David, because he asked it about 4 different times. So we was gonna get out there. But we appreciate your questions. We thank you. We thank you for the questions.
Shout out to David.
TJ, you all right?
Dang, TJ. What? We can't hear you now. He said, "I always love you more." That's hilarious. Appreciate
Um,
you, David. Shout out to
I,
David, man. He said, "I always love you."
I can't hear
Uh,
you because I have it turned down on my end. But
TJ, what happened, brother?
you working on it? Your computer died.
Your laptop died.
What does it say?
No internet. You gotta pay your bill, brother. You got to pay the bill. I'm just playing, TJ. I'm just playing. I'm just playing, TJ. I'm just playing, my guy.
That is funny.
I'm just playing, my guy. That man, whole
It's all
internet
right.
went away.
TJ, just try to get it back.
Clearly,
Try to
we're
get it back.
still in the beginning
It's
stages.
all good. Yeah, listen, guys. This is why we've been doing these little runs right here. We trying to figure it out
Yeah, we
together.
gotta practice. You gotta figure it
Yeah,
out.
it's listen, we been getting some practice runs and practice shots up. We've been shooting in the gym, and that
My
is
man
good.
really lost internet randomly.
If you're on IG and you're trying to figure out what's going on, we lost TJ, but we didn't lose him because he's with us, on IG, but just not on YouTube and Facebook. But that's fine. It's all good. So going back, somebody said they picked the dream girl. Somebody said I'd pick both. So again, anyways, um I do think that somebody was saying it depends on every situation, which I do agree. It does depend
Agreed.
on every situation. Every situation is different. That's what I'm saying. For me, um, you know, it was really more about when I met Jordan. Not that nothing else it really mattered, but at that point, it was like because of what I had been through, I knew how good of the situation this was, and I was like, "Listen, I ain't finna mess this up. Like, what I got to do to make sure that I lock this down and make sure that she's a person that I spend the rest of my life with." And so, I was working at a restaurant at really during that time. So, this is
Mm,
before, and so this is like leading right up to the pandemic, pretty much. So it was tough, but I wasn't a pastor like girls pastor, but wasn't working at church or anything like that. So it wasn't like I
yeah,
was about to be up in there, um, you know,
yeah.
doing that kind of stuff. So, but at the same time, I do feel like the getting the career down. If I had to tell somebody, if there was a young guy that was asking me which one to choose, I would probably tell him to. I don't know. Now that I'm thinking about it, I
Nah,
don't know,
I
man. I
tell
don't
him
know.
to follow God and follow His purpose. He has to find. He will have to find what he can do that will make him happy.
Yeah,
Because honestly, 80% of your day most likely is going to be at work. So you have to have a job that you enjoy doing.
yeah,
Versus, because it's like you don't want to tell the guys, find a girl first and then figure out your career. Heck
right,
no,
right.
ain't ever gonna find her. You want to be established where you want to be at, and her to come alongside that. Versus y'all trying to build from there. Every obviously, different relationship, different situations,
Yeah,
plays a part, but I think for the main part is, you definitely want to be aligned with what you're doing on your
yeah,
purpose, on your plan, and she happens to come alongside it. I think, a lot of times we get a job, don't really like it that much, and will be tolerated, but we focus all our energy on this girl and
mm,
playing and hoping this girl will bring us from a level of like a level of happy to here
right.
versus like, bro, if you already here and she can just add to that versus like I need you to make me really happy, to make me sad, to make this life worth it. It's like, nah, you already tapping out.
Yeah. Somebody said, and I'm reading this for the first time, it's good to have an idea of which has a higher priority and being honest about that in your communication. Dealing with this in some ways now. This person is dealing with that. Words say, I want a family, but lifestyle says, I want a bag. So there's that. There's that aspect as well, where you might really feel like you want a family, but in reality, you really do want that cheddar cheese too. So you trying to figure out what's the top priority. So,
Good luck.
um, I-
I mean, good luck. I mean, it's true. I mean, good. I mean, good luck. I mean, most people want the 1% life. Yeah, you want to make a lot of money, have the lifestyle, and don't work that much, and have a family and travel. It's like, all right, well, everybody would. That sound like a dream, right, in and of itself.
yeah, yeah. Well,
Hey,
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 what in the world?
TJ,
Uh,
figured it
I
out.
I don't know, man. I don't know. But
I
Bilo, you making excellent points.
got
Keep on. Bilo, you making excellent points. Keep on cooking. Keep your apron on. Keep going.
my God is awesome.
Awesome.
He
He
can move
can
the
move the
mountain.
mountain. Yeah.
TJ, it's just not the same without you, man. We will wait. We
We
will
waiting on you, my
stall.
guy.
We will do whatever we have to do to make sure that you are here.
That's why it's good to have blessed friends as such. Blessed friends as ye.
All right. I feel like we've been spending a lot of time on that question, which I think it was a good one to start. TJ, now that you're back, what did you bring to the table for us, my guy? What's on your heart? What's on your mind? Because let me tell you something. Bilo ain't got nothing. So I know that for sure. So won't you go ahead and just
I'll
give me.
bring up Zion again.
You can definitely go there. We can throw
Yeah,
that
go
spin in
ahead. Go
there
ahead. Go
after
ahead.
that. Keep that on your mind. We're gonna ask whose fault is it really?
Okay.
But all right. So the question I got on tap is
He
uh
got so serious.
bring it on in, fellas. All right. So what is something meaningful that has come out of failure for you? What is something meaningful that has come out of failure for you? I can say this for me starting off, then y'all can piggyback off it. So I guess before around the time like I was trying to get into the or like trying to figure life out. Like I just got out of college. You know that whole dry spell moment when you get out of college. You really is in college because you got a mass communications degree. You don't know what you're gonna do with that.
we call
Um,
we call that the young adult blues, TJ.
okay, we'll
Young
go
Adult
there.
Blues.
We'll go. Dun,
Yep, yep,
dun, dun, dun. So
yep.
so so I had those blues going on. So get out, get out of college. Um one of my partners was like, hey, you might as well go and try to like, hop off in the teaching field. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
around that time, I'm thinking like, I don't even know nothing about teaching. I don't even see that even in my peripheral as such. Hop off in there, start off as a sub. That was cool for a little bit. Then hopped off and getting to be a paraprofessional a little bit. So now around that time, one of my mentors or whatever, she was like, hey, don't get stuck off in just being a paraprofessional. Because people get in this, paras, they have the job, but they don't have to do all the extra. Like they don't have to, and they're more like I'm saying do boys, but it's like a low tier. And then like sometimes you get like treated like dirt. So she was like, don't get caught off in just being in this because you got the potential to be, a teacher or whatever. You got potential to be better.
Right. Right.
So I took, I ended up taking that serious. So, anybody who's in there, I'm pretty sure we got some educators on here. Um, when you're going through that trial, like when you taking these tests. So with me, I had, you had to take a core test, you got to take a PPR, you got to take an STR, and in some cases you might have to take another test or like a core test or whatever. So that's almost like 3-4 tests, and they're all getting hurled at you, and you only get 6 attempts, right?
Jeez.
You only get 6 attempts. So I am in the sped realm, right? So taking that test,
Oh,
right?
you always gonna have a job.
And that's why we thank God for what happened. So so we take the test the first time, you take the test the first time, you like, I ain't gonna be nothing, whatever. You gotta get 240. Got it back the first time, got 225. I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. You gotta wait 30 days. So I'm waiting, and in that time, I'm pretty sure that's a waiting period. Like, now you're back to focusing or whatever. So take a test again. Now this time I got a 220. So I'm like, okay, so 225, 220.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right, but I'm still good though. We still in the good. We still got 4 more attempts. We good. 30 days apart, and I'm not playing with them. I'm like, as soon as this 30 days up, I'm back at it. So end up taking the test again. Got a 226. So now I'm like, I don't really see the growth here. And I know
Yeah.
I'm studying. I'm studying, I'm looking at vocabulary, looking at videos. I'm doing what I gotta do.
Right.
Fourth attempt comes. Two 228. So
Okay.
now around this time, I'm like, now my mind is really
Sheesh.
like, I don't know, I
Yeah.
don't really know like what is going on. Like, I don't know. Because after the sixth attempt, so say you fail a sixth attempt, now you have to do all this extra. You got to reach out to TA, you got to get access
Hmm.
to get another chance. You know what I'm saying? You got to do a whole bunch of stuff to get another chance to take it. So I get on the fifth attempt, get on the fifth attempt. I'm studying like a madman, like for real. And
Man,
during this
that's 28
time,
days.
yeah, and during this time, I missed out something. During this time, I'm also am the teacher of record, right? I'm a teacher of record, so I have to before the school year's over in order for me to retain the job. In order for me to, I'm getting all this good pay. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting the money. I see what's going on, so I have
Right.
to keep this job. Well, I end up bumping on that attempt, right? End up blowing it. So I'm on my sixth attempt. I'm like, good God Almighty, I don't even know like what's about to happen. So fast forward, missed it again. So now I have to go back down a tier. In order for me to keep money in my pocket, I have to go back down and be basically I have to get a paraprofessional pay until I pass this test. And mind you, I have to do everything up to like I have to do everything now to get a chance. So you can really feel like how my mind at this point, like I'm crying to my mama, like I'm like nah, like real tears. Like I'm crying to my
Yeah.
mama. I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. Yeah. Facts.
I ain't even like I don't even know what I'm about to do if I wasn't trying to do no 12 to 12s. I just didn't feel that was me because I wanted to do coaching and all this other stuff. Like I was like, I don't see me doing 12 12s, but
Hmm.
I'd do it if I got to. So
Hmm.
worked that whole thing up until like December. Took the test again. This time I passed it.
Amen.
I passed the test. So now we're doing backflips. Now we're doing woo-doo-woo-doo-doo. So first thing I do when I got my result, I run to the office. I'll tell the dude, I'm like, hey, I got it. I'm gonna go up to I'm gonna go to HR office. I'm gonna tell them I passed it. They're gonna sign me. I'm gonna get my other paperwork in, and we're gonna be good. They was like, okay, well, and I was like,
Well.
they said, well, yes, we proud of you, but it's like we're gonna need you to take we gotta take one more test. I'm like, one more test. I was like, y'all know what I've been through this whole year. I done
Right.
went through, I gotta take another one.
Hmm.
So end up having to take another one. Missed that one. So
Dang.
my life has been like a world of emotions. But then what happens is the thing that came out of it was sorry that I stretched that, but the beautiful thing that came out of it was is that sometimes you'll go through all that stuff, but you'll have another opportunity that could be waiting for you. Like I was mashing the gas like so hard to try to stay in this one position. Like I was mashing the gas, mashing the gas, mashing the gas, and was so tunnel vision on it. But then I kind of stepped outside the realm, end up getting another job. You know what I'm saying? Better situation. Uh, was able to coach all three sports, like legit, was able to like, kind of get in the mix, see how different things was working on another level. And so I went through, that fire on that end to come out, Preston, pristine. So that's what I'm saying was meaningful to me out of whatever. Sorry to stress that out on y'all, but that was
So I
my
just want to
little
clarify. So what is something meaningful that's came out of failure, right?
Mhm,
Uh, for you, you were able to get a whole different job that you were applying for, a whole different situation that you were trying to get. That
mhm,
was not something you originally wanted to get, but because you were doing that, that has now allowed you to be in this new situation
mhm,
that is so much better than the one that you previously had wanted.
mhm.
That's legit.
And so I feel like I feel like we go through that. Like us as people, we might God might be trying to maneuver you out of something.
Hmm.
Like he might legit like me. he might legit be trying to throw stuff at you, like throw signs at you. Go, because sometimes I feel like some of us who are trying to, I guess, hear the voice, we don't actually hear the voice, but we try to focus on signs, or you know,
Mm-hmm.
dig deep and be like, okay, maybe this is God telling me something. I've
Mm-hmm.
asked him a question, but maybe he's actually like telling me or trying to throw me signals like, all right,
Yeah.
dude, look, I got something else for you, but are you gonna focus and actually listen to like I'm saying? Like, are you gonna
Right. 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 Right.
just
Right.
look to the right a little bit. Just look to the
Right.
right.
Right. Right. Right. Right.
Just look
Right.
to the right, and you can, and just so that's really what happened to me, is just like, man, let's look to the right. And I was like, okay, I
I
hear you, God.
mean, y'all can tell me if I'm wrong, but also I do hear echo now. Are we up on your IG, TJ? Turn that down. Um, for me, I would say the greatest thing that could ever come out of failure and that's meaningful is probably just appreciation. Like
Mm,
appreciation for whatever situation you might be currently in and that you're in double going to. So like for me and my first, you know, quote unquote failed marriage gave me so much more appreciation for what I'm in now because of what had happened before. Like I think that if I would have just met Jordan first and fell in love with Jordan first and got married and stuff like that, I think it'd be great and I think I'd be super appreciative. But because of the failure that I had before, it gave me so much more appreciation for some of the little things that Jordan does because it's like, man, it's just that it wasn't like that in the beginning. And so I would say, I mean, more than anything, it would probably be appreciation. But if we wanted to be specific, I would probably say Roman. I mean, my son is probably the greatest thing that has came from what failed before and now has been the greatest blessing and the greatest reminder every time I see him that like, man, I mean, he wouldn't be here if
mhm.
Mm,
somebody
mm,
said that they didn't want to be with me no more and just
mm.
completely left me. So,
Yeah.
um, but I would say appreciation, and then I would say Roman.
I still can't. I still got choice words for her if I ever see her randomly. You know that be
He gonna let
choice
it fly
words.
too. He gonna
I'm
let
not
it
gonna let
fly
it
too.
fly, fly. Well, depending on the situation. If it's one on one, we by ourselves, she might get some work. But we in
She
the
gonna
public, I
she
may just
gonna,
be like, I may just look at her and be like, I know what you
yeah,
did.
he lying. He gonna catch a she gonna catch a straight like she ain't never heard before. Soof.
That's all good, man.
Woo!
I was really like, I was really like a lot of people were. I mean, I was hurting
All
stuff, and I had
every word in the book. But honestly,
honestly, man.
man, towards the end of it, I really was like, I, I I was good, and honestly, I was a
Yeah,
whole
yeah,
lot.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I was good. But
yeah,
anyways,
yeah.
we can get on that
Facts,
another
facts,
time,
facts, facts, facts,
another time.
facts.
Below,
I mean, I think for me, it was a couple things. The first thing I realized, and it kind of, how can I put this? So yeah, it was a few lessons I learned that came from failure. I'd say the first one is definitely growth. I think that's the biggest thing. I think it says count it all as joy as you go through trials and tribulations, knowing that it's produced steadfastness and endurance. And I think that's one thing of just going through what I went through a year and a half ago, whatever. Just going through a lot, but it made me stronger.
yeah,
It made me endure more and made me more steadfast. And honestly, it brought me closer to God as well. So it's just understanding that, through the trials and through the tribulations, through the failed relationships, through the failed conversations, failed actions that I had, really displayed, it was God's grace in allowing me to really see my flaws, allowing me to really see where I can improve, and allowing also to see where I was putting other things before Him. So with that perspective, it allowed a lot of growth, and through that I have a peace of mind that I have never thought I would ever have in my life. And I think just understanding, just following just God, and being on His will and being on His purpose, it's like I'm in a whole new world right now.
mm,
So like the old, like I feel like, if I show y'all the picture of me that was 30 to 40 pounds overweight, I don't even know that guy anymore. That guy don't even exist to me. You
facts.
know what I mean? So it's kind of like just understanding just the growth and just how the hard time build strength in me, build endurance in me. But also it gave me a new world as well. Like just being, just seeing just the love of Christ, seeing the grace, seeing the guidance, seeing all the things that He has brought me through. When it's I see why Paul says I see why Paul said count it as, because on the other side of it, there's so much beautiful things that can happen. Not only peace, not only joy, not only happiness, but also ministry to other people. So now all three of us can use our pains, all three of us can use our failures, all three of us can use our experiences as ministry to other people that may hopefully not experience some of the things that we've gone through. So since we know how to get out of these trials, out of these tribulations, out of these hard times, now we can be a helping hand and guide for the other men. So
Yeah.
that also helped change my perspective on a lot of things. And it's kind of like, it's cliche, all the things that we go through are lessons, but it's true.
Yeah.
If you really have the proper perspective, not saying it's going to be easy, because obviously we go through things that are very hard, that are very tough, that are challenging, that are mental, but those things, if we draw near to Christ, I think we'll come on the other side, where He wants us to be. And sometimes that looks like failure, and sometimes that's caused by our own hands, and we have to take responsibility and accept that, and repent, and be like, okay, I see where I failed at that. And other times it just sucks, because it's just life, and life, it's hard. People pass away, we lose jobs, famine, economy problems, all kinds of stuff that be happening, that causes of life. But that's why we have to go to the Father, and the Father is the one that brings full satisfaction on this world. So,
That's
so
good. No, I feel like, man, truly the concept that, Romans 8:28 is a real thing. Like, God works everything out for the good of those that love Him and that are called according to His purpose. Like, it's a real verse. And honestly, like, that has been my anchor, my go-to, my saving grace countless times in this last few seasons of my life, where either I made a dumb decision or I was in just a wrong situation, and I said, even this craziness is still gonna work out for my good. Like, even in death, life can still be produced. Like, even in the moments where I feel like there's nothing good going on or nothing good happening, good can still happen in this situation. And so I think that when it comes to failure, like, yeah, like, failure sucks. Nobody wants to fail. Nobody wants to, not succeed. Nobody wants to, have a moment where you feel like you've missed the mark. But every time you miss the mark, there's an opportunity to hit the mark. And every time you miss the mark, there's also an opportunity for growth. And I think that when it comes to what is something meaningful that can come out of it, it's just like what TJ was saying, man. Like, you can have these moments where you're in a certain situation and you feel like, man, like, I need this, I need this, I need this. And God is like, no, I'm gonna make you fail 8 times for you to really realize you might have thought you needed this, but this is really what you need. not only
Facts.
yeah,
not only is this what you
Facts.
need, this is truly gonna be the thing that's gonna propel you a whole lot further. Like, and
Facts.
I know we already kind of talked about it a little bit, but I'm not saying that my first wife wasn't like from God or anything like that, because that's not the case, at least not in my book, like anything like that. Like, I just feel like it was just wrong time. We were way too young, all the kind of different things, and it was a disaster from the get-go, and nobody really told us. But um because of that, and because of me saying yes to that situation, and because of the people that I met through her, we were then brought to Greenville, South Carolina. And because of Greenville, South Carolina, it actually was the situation that erupted our relationship and everything like that. But because I was in that place, because I was in that season, because I was in that specific spot, I met Jordan. So it's like, you can look at all the certain stuff and you could be like, oh man, like, if I wish I would have never, I wish I would have never, I wish I would have never. But if I would have never, I wouldn't have got this. And so you can always look at it, glass half empty, glass half full. You can always look at it like that. But I truly feel like when we are able to step out of ourselves and say, you know what, God, Romans 8:28, even in divorce, there's something good out of it. Even with me, getting pregnant outside of marriage, something good is gonna happen out of this. Even with me losing my job, something good is gonna happen out of this. Even in this relationship not working, something good is gonna happen out of this. And so But that's truly again, good of those that love God and that are also called according to God's purpose. Many are called, but few are chosen. So we have to make sure that we are still doing our part. You can't just be out here living all willy nilly and being like, "Oh, something good gonna happen out of this girl," because it don't work like that. But still, it can all work out. TJ, what another great question, TJ. That was good.
Hey man,
That was good.
just doing my due diligence here, man.
As we continue to have these conversations, I am about to start giving you guys some really good stuff for the week because man, I'm learning y'all strengths. I'm learning the strengths. I'm learning the strengths.
No pun intended. No pun intended.
No pun intended. No, this is good. This is good. No, yeah, but again, truly, I when we talk about being born sinners and then what does that look like on the other side, man? Like what I like about being our name born sinner is that we've all started off on the same playing field. Like and some people might have been born a sinner in a rich home. Some people might be born sinner in a poor home. Some people might be, born sinner on the east side. Some might be from the west side. Some might be from Texas or, whatever the case may be. But no matter what, we were all born into the earth the same way. We were all born into a status of where we need Christ. And so no matter what it might look like, no matter what you might be walking into, no matter if you have all the money in the world or no money in the world, we still need Christ. And I think that for all of us, we can continue to rest in the fact and know that as we continue to pursue and as we continue to want to grow, there's always going to be a side of us or a piece of us that is wanting to know more about Christ. And it's not until we say yes to that and want to really follow suit in that where we're going to continue to miss the mark. So anyway, so I just had to get that little spill out. But what up, T-Ray? What up, Benny? But people watching on IG, what's going down? Facebook is still going live, y'all. We still got people watching on Facebook. Still people watching on YouTube.
Shout out to Facebook. Shout out to
what
Facebook.
Up, Jen on YouTube? Yeah, man, we got the people live. So, but yeah, it's still going to be, us trying to pursue those different things. But that's good. TJ, good job. Good job on the question.
Yeah, great question.
All right, B-Lo, what'd you bring to the table for these last few minutes?
I mean, we can continue off of TJ or we can go Zion.
Oh, let's go Zion. No, let's go Zion. That'd be good.
Let's go Zion.
No, I mean, honestly, this is my question.
First, set it up for people that don't know.
Yeah, give us the alley.
Zion is number 1 overall draft pick, correct? He's a basketball
2-3 years
player.
ago. Yeah.
2 or 3 years ago, came out of Duke, was a high school phenom, mainly for his dunks. And
from South Carolina, I think.
Somewhere country. And also, I got to put it full. So he hasn't been living up to the full basketball hype as the number 1 overall pick, mainly because of injuries, but also because of his physical. Let's just say lack thereof. Like he gained a lot of weight.
He's fat.
There you go. And most of his
thank you.
Most of his I would say gift on the basketball court is his body and his athleticism. But when you add the wrong kind of fat onto you, it obviously slows you down.
Yes.
You get winded. Sometimes you even get more
big
injury.
Back brother.
There we go. Big brother. So he became Big Zion, right? So Big Zion hasn't been playing that many games. So you got all this talent in the world. Even the Pelicans made it to the play-in tournament. People suspected him to play, but he didn't play because he wasn't ready. So you got this man on a maximum contract. Hasn't been playing much. The former 1 overall pick. And now he has,
and he's on a good team. By the way, this is
he's on a decent team now.
He in the West, so he's in the wrong conference.
If Zion plays with the Pelicans that are on this team right now, I think they beat everybody but Denver. Personally,
I think I can't go that far.
I think they could beat everybody but Denver.
I can't go. I don't
know about that one.
I'm just not the new Phoenix. I'm just talking about last year. Last year.
This Phoenix. This is Phoenix. This
year
Phoenix beat them technically, but they didn't have Zion. But anyway,
yeah,
it's a different debate. But I think So it's like now he has multiple women, really one kind of calling him out on his, let's just say, his closeted behavior in his sexual relationships. You know, and one of these ladies, I'm not going to necessarily say her profession, but let's just say she's professional at doing certain activities. Terrell, stop.
She's a porn star. Continue.
She's a porn star, and apparently she's pregnant with Zion's child.
Oh, so she is pregnant with Zion's child.
Is she checked? She's not. She's not pregnant with.
Wait, no, TJ.
Wait.
What is this?
No, because there is one. His main Jane. Here's the crazy thing about it is they both do it. So his main Jane is the one he came out and was like, "Hey, yo, this shorty like with the whoop." She does it too.
But does he have both these women pregnant? He got both of these women pregnant.
No. It's
so he got
so
one
his
woman
main.
pregnant.
Yes, he got one, but the other one is saying she better hope I ain't pregnant. That's what she was threatening.
Wait. So there's two different women. But his main,
there's really three, honestly.
His main girlfriend is also an OnlyFans star.
Yes.
And then there's a second girl who is also an OnlyFans star, which is a porn star. And she is pretty much saying now, if you don't break up with the first girl, we're gonna have problems. And
she's threatening because she basically saying like, you knew that you was in this relationship, you knew that you had all this going on, so then you gonna come publicly out here and you gonna just announce to the world,
gender reveal.
Yeah, you gonna have a whole, you had a whole, you got all this going on, and you just gonna just toss me off to the side. No, it's not going down like that. I'm about to burn the house down. So
that's so stupid of her, bro.
It is.
I'm sorry. I don't understand. I don't see her gain and her pointness at all if they wasn't.
There is nothing to gain from what
I think that's
doing.
clout, but we'll get into that. But I just think
there's nothing to gain. It's like it's like also too, because you be trying to figure out, all right, was it necessarily his fault all the way? I mean, yes, he done what he done, but I mean, technically, if he know what you do, he not trying to. You think, but I don't know why he would want to do that with the other one. But I guess you pick and choose your poison. But
see, this is my question for y'all. Where are the men in Zion's life?
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. He don't have an OG. He don't have an OG.
How? No, this is my problem. How? It's 2023. It's 2023. How do you not have an OG? How do you not have older men helping you or peers around you? It doesn't make any sense. This is 20. Where are we going to learn from these mistakes?
No, but mind you though, right? So he has more money than a lot of people who he might consider, older than him or whatever. So you got to remember, he a young nigga. Sorry, excuse me. He a young.
There's other basketball players that are older than him that have money that can easily say, "Hey, Zion, sit your head down."
They don't. How do you know they talk to each other like that? How do we know that? They probably don't talk to each other like that. LeBron, I can almost guarantee you, there is a set phone log for LeBron James, and
why
he not just
can't have that. This is my issue. My issue is we seen LeBron do it. Why Zion can't do it?
Do what?
My thing is if you're going to be out in the
wait.
street,
I have a quick question. TJ, is your Instagram mic muted? The little microphone thing?
Yeah, it's muted.
Okay, you gotta unmute it.
Huh?
Is that better?
Man, there's no way he's been muted this entire time. Oh boy, TJ.
For everybody watching, I can guarantee you, next week I will be more on game. I will be more on game next week. I apologize to y'all because this is just crazy. This is ridiculous.
Somebody said, yeah, I can't hear him. And then somebody said, why does TJ sound like his phone battery's on low? They said he sounded like a backup singer where you just can't hear him at all.
Oh, they getting off.
They was going off.
Yeah,
Okay.
TJ, they should.
Okay, they getting off.
They
Shout
should,
out,
All right.
as they
shout out Rachel,
should,
shout
as
out
they
Rachel
should,
Lamont. She go crazy.
as they should, actually they should continue low key.
And she said that
There you
was the
go.
best. She said that was the best unheard sermon she's ever heard.
Oh my gosh, she's killing you.
Next
good.
week. Next week. All right. Y'all tap in next week. Don't worry. It's gonna be all set next week. I can guarantee you. Okay. So
all
we'll just divulge from what we already said.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. Brother, right? The brother got more money. He got more money. He got more status than consider whatever he might consider an OG. So he might not be leaning necessarily on that. And once again, I'm saying he young. So he gonna do what a young I want to say it so bad. I want to say it so bad.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
Go ahead.
I'll be honest with you. This is why I give TJ. This is why I give TJ. I do give TJ this. That we are in a whole. They're in a whole nother set of game and a whole nother set of realm. Because to be honest with you, you know what I mean. Never in my million years that I thought I would go and actually seek out any of these porn stars and actually meet them. Actually be with them, actually spend time with them. And it never came across in my mind. But these guys literally are doing that. Like they want to live out the fantasy and actually be around this person.
But they might want to put the cape on. They might want to put the cape on.
They might want to put the cape on. So it's kind of like to me, it's like it's like mind-boggling to me that you even come close to a woman, respectfully. You even come close to a woman like that because of your position. Look at your status, look at your position in life, look at where you are, and look at what you're surrounding yourself with. And I'm not saying these people are bad people. What I'm saying is all this could have been avoided if he would have not touched a girl that does pornography. It's really simple.
But also look this too, right? He really just got in the league, what, 2-3 years ago?
Stop making excuses for him, TJ. I'm sick of it.
I'm not making it. No. I'm trying to level with the boy so we can try to pick his mind.
I think he's going into his 4th year.
He's going into his 4th year, right? So you got to remember, first he's going crazy in middle school, high school. Then he go crazy at Duke, right? So you got all the access to whatever, but you're not tapping exactly what you want to tap, right? You're not really just there yet. So the moment that oh, I'm about to go number 1, right? Fantasy in my mind that could be played out, right? Every fantasy in my mind that could be played out saying, I am number 1. The bag that I'm about to get is ridiculous. I could buy a gang of flamingos. I could go out here and get a tub full of Oreo cookies, like a pool of them. Like I could just do ridiculous stuff.
This is why Zion can't get a pass. I'm telling you why.
You don't want to give him no kind of.
He can't get a pass.
Let me interject for a moment. First off, the OG comment came up, which, from my understanding, his both of his parents, I believe, are still in his life, and I don't know this to be sure, but I knew that he grew up in South Carolina, so this is the same time when I was living in Greenville. So Zion was like always around. I never got a chance to go see him play, but he was always playing around, and I was always hearing about his parents, his mom and his dad. From my understanding, his mom and dad are sold out believers as well. So there has been, I believe, enough coaching and training for Zion.
Thank you. I rest my case, TJ.
Me personally, I just don't think it matters. The Bible says train up a child in the way so goes so that when they get older, they won't depart from it. I don't think he's really older yet. So he's not even at the age where you can consider somebody being older. So it's like what TJ said as well. He's in the age where he's supposed to make mistakes. The hard part is that you're making mistakes now with other people that also have, yes or no, but yes, platforms. You know what I'm saying? You have somebody with, 200,000 followers or whoever that at the drop of a hat can completely ruin your whole life and literally have everybody talking about it. I think for Zion,
you gotta move better.
I think for Zion, you need to be more focused about playing basketball than cheeks. I think that your team, the owners, the people around you, like, you have so much more of a responsibility just to go out there and hoop at a game that you love. That would be my question. Like, do you love basketball? Because if not, at this point, you literally you're wasting other people's money and time and stuff like that for not playing. This is you going on year 4, and I think they said he's only played like 80 something games in 4 years, 3 years. You only play 80. There's only 82 games in a season. So what are you doing with your life? Why are you doing this the way that you're doing it in your life? And also, you know better. So whether you with a corn
You
star
know better,
or whether
TJ.
you with an OnlyFans girl, whatever you're doing, you still know at the end of the day that like you shouldn't have been cross-examining anyway. So, but
Right.
I do feel like he knows better. But
Checks
That
over
also,
cheeks.
yes,
checks
all the
over
time.
cheeks, man.
And,
So
and,
so
and
go
this,
so this goes back to the question. Would you rather have your dream job or your dream girl? For Zion, he wanted both his dream girls. That's what he wanted.
And to eat it too.
Yeah,
He
Stop
wanted
it.
the cake.
there was some of
Oh
that.
no, he wanted the cake. And the problem is
There's so many puns you can keep on rolling with him. This is like
this is my second problem with him because he had a cake issue, and we're not talking about women, we're talking about eating.
Wow.
So he had
right.
so he got
double
all these
entendre
women-
there.
You feel
You
me?
got a double.
You feel me? I know, brother. So it's like he got
Oh my God.
he got all this money, right? And got this responsibility, and we see it happening through the food. We saw him gain weight. We saw it. And we was like asking all these same questions. Is he taking it seriously? Who's around him? Who's coaching him? Who's helping him? Who's mentoring him? All of these things.
Well,
And
now
it's
we know
like,
homegirl was making hotcakes for him in the back room. She was getting stuff ready for him. She was like, "Listen, baby, I got you. Go ahead, just make you this extra hot for you."
If she was cooking, that is another crazy.
let's stop. Let's just there's no
He's
way.
eating from
Nah.
both ends.
Zion, honestly, Zion, this is, and I don't want to sound like I don't have no grace or no forgiving for him, but it's like, to me, this is what could happen if you mess with certain kind of women and certain kind of people in general. But if you're going to, enter into a woman, if you don't actually use wisdom and discernment, this is what could happen. And it's like 9 times out of 10, it's more likely to happen with a woman in that industry. So it's like, you're a professional basketball player, so you must think you're untouchable. You have to think you're untouchable. You have to think like this person is not going. You have to believe all these lies and deceitfulness in your head for you to even not rationally make these decisions.
So was he worse or was PJ Washington worse?
He works, absolutely.
Oh yeah, I think
Absolutely. PJ. I think PJ just got caught up. PJ really. This is what PJ's problem. This is what PJ's problem is. You know what I mean?
His apron is on right now.
PJ knew better. PJ knew better.
PJ knew better, but he was the perfect person because he was younger. He was younger, and he probably pedalized.
Was PJ a rookie? Was PJ a rookie when all this happened?
He was like a second year. He was he was either a rookie or second year. Yeah. He wasn't like a vet in the league, but he was significantly younger than her. And I feel. Oh. I mean, I do, and I don't, because she wrote a whole book airing guys out. It's like, what are you all thinking?
But this is before PJ. She wrote the book.
She wrote, but that makes it even worse. Because
but her,
like, he don't read. He don't read like that.
Her nature, her lifestyle was already known. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't even know. We know these things about them, so how don't y'all don't know?
No,
that's what I'm saying. How do they not know?
But didn't they get married though? They got married, right?
Nah, I think they just have a child together. They never made it to the marriage. He kept cheating on her.
Oh, so he kept messing up.
That's why she left him.
He was cheating.
I didn't know.
Oh no, he was. Oh yeah, they broke up because he was unfaithful.
Oh, okay. So I didn't know that. So I just thought she had a baby with him and dipped.
Nah. That's what the internet wanted you to perceive. That's even what she kind of wanted to perceive. Like, she kind of perceived it. But no. But see, this is the thing. This makes PJ. Honestly, this might make PJ even worse, because Brittany has always been like that, right, PJ? Like, she has always alluded, like, I'm a trapper guy, I'm a trapper rapper, I'm a trapper basketball player. You know what it is when you meet
trapping college freshmen.
Yeah. So it's like
you heard Deion Sanders.
Exactly. So it happened, and then it's like now she's playing alongside of it. She's playing a villain role, especially to guys, because guys killed her. But she was like, honestly, it was him. Y'all just making me look like the enemy because y'all just see me get a baby by a basketball player. But then she played the villain role, so
but
she
she was
really
but she was making money off of it too. So she wasn't. I mean, I'm sure she
I
wasn't.
mean,
Upset about
I
it.
mean,
Hey,
obviously,
but
she
Dion,
made she wrote a whole book.
Dion
She was
said
paid.
Dion said without saying it, he was like, "This the woman y'all don't need to go after." He didn't say that, but he
He
said
didn't
it.
even say that, and he said it,
He
and
said it.
brought her brought her here. Like, hey,
This one right here. No,
so
No, don't do
so where was Zion in that meeting?
He wasn't there.
Huh? He wasn't that.
He
He said
left.
he was.
but now
He left early. He left early. He was.
He left.
He
He
said,
missed that one. He missed that class. He left early. Nah,
he said,
bro.
"This ain't
Nah,
gonna be
nah,
for me."
this
nah,
has been
nah.
another episode of the Born Center podcast. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and hopping in with us, man. This is a lot of fun. I definitely feel like these questions from the hip have been really great. Sorry if we didn't get a chance to get to your questions. I saw a few on YouTube and a few that came in on IG. So sorry if we missed them, but please make sure you guys send them in. I'm actually going to put on my IG, maybe you guys want to do it too, just like a little questionnaire where people can just like automatically go ahead and send in questions if they want to, so that we can just kind of get these throughout the week. But we
I'm cool with
appreciate
that.
you. We appreciate you guys so
Yeah.
much. I don't know. I'll have to talk with the guys about it because as we've been doing this one, I've been having so many different ideas. But I don't know how many more lives we're gonna do. We're gonna continue to do videos and things like this. But we appreciate you guys for taking out the time, spending 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or an hour and 11 minutes with us. So thank you guys, IG, YouTube, and Facebook. We appreciate you guys, man. TJ, final words.
Man, checks over cheeks, man.
Checks over cheeks.
Don't follow the trend, man. You got a calling, you need to stick to it. Stay in yourself. Find people around you that's gonna help you propel. You know what I'm saying, and not dilute you, not bring you down. Because I mean, the main thing at the end of the day is you have to. You know, it's cliche to say, but you have to stay focused.
Yeah.
You have to stay focused. We must stay focused, my brothers, and my Dr. Umar
We must.
fingerprint.
Facts. That's big.
We
facts,
must stay
though,
focused,
honestly.
man.
That's a good one. Checks over cheeks. Be like, you got anything better than checks over cheeks?
I mean, not necessarily, but I would say you have to really follow the Lord and find your purpose, and those two things have to be first, because if you're putting women or sexual just kind of relationships or whatever in the forefront, they will lead to destruction. Your sins are going to come out. What's in the dark will come to the light. You know, these things will happen in various different ways. We'll see where sexual immorality and even putting our faith in these women will either allow men to go down the wrong path, or allow them to go or allow them to just miss the mark in so many different ways. So I think just really just focusing on what you need to focus on. And if you have this weird pull to always be around women or seek approval of women or affirmation of women or have to talk to women, you might need to look inside yourself, look in the mirror, and like, okay, what is happening from the inside that's causing me to go to these women? Because promise you, what Zion dealt with, what PJ dealt with, whatever, it can also happen to us too. But it started with the inner core that led to all this stuff happening. So work on the core, you'll avoid all this stuff.
Romans 8:28, God works everything out for the good of those that love him and that are called according to his purpose. And so there are key words there. You got to love God. You got to be called according to his purpose. Meaning you're called before you're chosen. But I believe that anybody can be used and will be called by God. So it's up to you.
The harvest is plentiful, but the labors are few.
That's right. It's a big old harvest out there, but he needs people to work it. And it all starts with you. We love you guys so much. Thank you guys again for tuning in. We'll see you guys next Tuesday. Right here, live and in person.
Yeah.
TJ's gonna be in the mix early.
We'll be better. We'll be better next week. We'll be better next week.
Yes, TJ. Yes.
He will be on and unmuted.
Yes. Jeez, I cannot believe you knew it. That's crazy.